The Green Bay Packers have officially decided to part ways with cornerback Jaire Alexander, ending a 7-year tenure filled with ups and downs and a lengthy internal debate about his future with the team. This move marks a clean break between the player and the franchise, closing a chapter that had fans and analysts speculating for months. The decision to release Alexander comes after a roller coaster of speculation surrounding whether he would be traded or retained. But ultimately, the Packers chose to move on. For the Chicago Bears and other NFC North rivals, this development carries significant implications. When healthy, Jaire Alexander has proven himself to be an elite cornerback, capable of locking down receivers and changing the complexion of a game with his coverage skills. His ability to perform at a high level when on the field made him a valuable asset, which is why his departure raises questions about Green Bay's defensive future and opens a window of opportunity for other teams in the division. The Packers. Handling of Alexander's situation has drawn criticism from some observers who argue that the organization mismanaged the process. Reports toward the end of last season suggested the team was preparing to trade him, fueled by concerns about his injury history and contract complications. Yet after several months without any trade deal materializing, the Packers eventually decided to cut him outright. This outcome left many wondering if the front office missed a prime opportunity to extract value before the draft. It's widely known that Alexander struggled with injuries throughout recent years, limiting his availability. He has played in fewer than 7 games in 3 of the last 4 seasons, which naturally impacts his trade value. Teams seeking to acquire a cornerback of his caliber might have been hesitant to offer significant compensation due to the risk associated with his health. Ultimately, it appears that the Packers gambled on finding a better trade offer or figuring out a way to keep him, but neither path proved viable. Trade discussions reportedly took place earlier in the offseason between the Packers and the Buffalo Bills, indicating genuine interest from another contender in acquiring Alexander. However, those talks broke down, possibly due to contract disagreements or the Bills' decision to draft another cornerback, Maxwell Harrison, signaling their intent to pursue younger options. The failure to finalize a trade further narrowed Green Bay's choices, culminating in the decision to release Alexander and start fresh with a different defensive lineup. This chain of events highlights the complex nature of roster management in the NFL, especially when dealing with a player who has all-pro talent but is hampered by persistent injuries. For the Packers, this move is both a reset and a risk, as it leaves a notable void in their secondary just as they aim to compete for supremacy within the NFC North. Looking at the Packers' cornerback room now, it's fair to say that they face some serious challenges. The group includes players like Nate Hobbs, Kalen King, and Keyshawn Nixon, but none of them have demonstrated the kind of impact Alexander brought when healthy. Hobbs and Nixon are viewed as depth options at best, and Kalen King is not yet considered ready for a starting role. This makes for one of the weakest cornerback groups in the entire league, which is troubling for a team that will rely heavily on its defense to stay competitive. The pass rush also lacks the kind of dominance necessary to compensate for a vulnerable secondary. While players like Rashawn Gary and Devontae Wyatt provide stability at the defensive tackle position, the Packers are missing a true game changer. On the edge, someone with the relentless presence of a Montez Sweat or a similar force. This leaves their defensive line hovering at an average level, and without a shutdown cornerback, their defense could struggle against high-powered offenses. From the Bears' perspective, this development is especially promising. Chicago's defense under head coach Matt Eberflus and coordinator Jeff Hafley has shown signs of improvement, and with a passing offense that looks poised to take a leap forward in the second year of quarterback Caleb Williams and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, the division could be ripe for shifting power dynamics. The Bears boast solid safety play, decent linebackers, and a pass rush that could get better if they address certain needs. The Packers, on the other hand, are dealing with a cornerback room that lacks depth and quality, which could give the Bears an edge in head-to-head matchups or when facing other NFC North opponents. There has already been speculation about whether the Bears might pursue Jaire Alexander to bolster their own secondary. While it's never possible to rule anything out in the NFL, the likelihood of Chicago signing him seems low. The Bears currently have considerable depth at cornerback, with players like Jalen Johnson, who alongside Alexander at full health, would form one of the league's best cornerback duos. Yet Alexander's extensive injury history cannot be ignored. He has missed a staggering number of games over the last few years, including more than 30 missed contests in just 4 seasons. This track record makes him a risky investment for a team that already has other promising options at the position. Moreover, Chicago appears to be focused on different priorities. Instead of investing heavily in a cornerback with injury concerns, the Bears might look to add talent at pass rusher or running back, areas where they have more glaring needs, while Alexander would likely come at a reasonable cost, given the guaranteed money remaining on his contract and incentives tied to playing time. The Bears' current roster construction and future plans suggest they will pursue other avenues to strengthen the team. The defensive backfield depth chart already features players like Tyrique Stevenson, Terrell Smith, and Zay Frazier, who the Bears seem willing to develop and rely on moving forward. From the Packers' standpoint, releasing Alexander without having drafted a cornerback until the 7th round of the most recent draft indicates a lack of depth-building strategy, raising further questions about the team's long-term planning on defense. This oversight could prove costly if the current secondary struggles, especially against NFC North offenses that continue to improve. The Packers now find themselves thin at the cornerback position, relying on younger, less proven players to fill roles once held by a seasoned veteran. Shifting the focus, news around running back Nick Chubb has also been buzzing. It appears that Chubb is close to signing with the Houston Texans, pending a physical examination. While not yet official, reports indicate that his move to Houston is imminent. Chubb's addition to the Texans' backfield, potentially alongside Joe Mixon, could bolster their rushing attack significantly. There were rumors linking the Bears to Chubb earlier in the offseason, but nothing concrete ever surfaced. The Bears reportedly never hosted him for a visit or expressed substantial public interest, suggesting that they may not see him as a priority addition despite some speculation. Interestingly, Chubb reportedly received more lucrative offers from other teams, but seems to have chosen Houston due to an incentive-based contract that could reward him more if he performs well. This strategy aligns with Houston's approach to building their backfield, aiming to pair Chubb's talent with Mixon's experience for a more dynamic rushing core. For Chicago, the focus remains on maximizing their current running backs, including DeAndre Swift, while keeping an eye on promising young players like Roschon Johnson and Kyle Manungi, who has impressed during recent minicamps. Other free agent running backs like J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Jamal Williams, Cam Akers, and Deontay Foreman remain available, each bringing different skill sets and injury histories. Dobbins, in particular, has shown he can elevate a backfield when healthy, despite his own injury concerns. The Bears could consider adding one of these players via trade, surprise cuts, or other opportunities that arise during the preseason and training camp. However, at this stage, it seems the Bears are content to proceed with their current depth, believing they can develop their young backs and make adjustments, if necessary, closer to the regular season. The possibility of the Bears adding a running back before Week 1 remains open but uncertain. Many fans and analysts see it as a 50-50 chance. Plausible, but not guaranteed. The team's approach appears cautious, prioritizing internal growth and flexibility over making a big splash in free agency or trade markets. Of course, as the preseason unfolds, unexpected roster moves could change that narrative. Injuries, roster constraints, or emerging trade opportunities might prompt the Bears to add a back. But for now, the focus is on evaluating their current players and preparing for the upcoming season with the resources they have. In summary, the Packers' release of Jaire Alexander signals a turning point in the NFC North's defensive landscape, while the potential signing of Nick Chubb by Houston adds another layer to the offseason's evolving storylines. Both developments impact the Bears indirectly, highlighting challenges and opportunities as Chicago charts its course toward competing in a division that remains unpredictable and fiercely contested. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. There's a growing storm brewing within the Chicago Bears organization, and it's centered around one of their key players, running back DeAndre Swift. Recent reports suggest that the relationship between Swift and head coach Ben Johnson has hit an irreparable snag, sparking rumors of internal conflict that could shake up the team's dynamic moving forward. According to sources close to the Bears, tensions between Johnson and Swift have escalated behind closed doors, with the coach reportedly declaring, he's not playing for me anymore. This bold statement has sent shockwaves through the NFL community and ignited a flurry of speculation about Swift's future with the team. What exactly led to this dramatic fallout remains unclear, but insiders hint at disagreements over playing time, strategy, or even locker room leadership as possible triggers. DeAndre Swift, known for his explosive speed and versatility, has been a vital part of the Bears' offensive scheme since joining the team. His ability to change the game with a single play has made him a fan favorite and a crucial asset. However, this newfound rift threatens to undermine not only Swift's role, but the Bears' entire season strategy. Could this internal strife derail the team's performance? Or is this just a passing storm that will blow over with some tough conversations? The coach's blunt rejection of Swift's involvement in future games opens up several possibilities. Will the Bears seek to trade their star running back? Could Swift be sidelined or even released if the tension persists? The NFL rumor mill is already buzzing with potential scenarios, and rival teams might be watching closely for a chance to snatch up a talented player suddenly deemed expendable. From a tactical standpoint, losing Swift's contributions on the field would be a significant blow to the Bears' offensive arsenal. Johnson's tough stance suggests a shift in team philosophy, or perhaps a move to establish a new leadership hierarchy. Fans and analysts alike are left wondering how the front office will handle this crisis and whether they will back their coach or intervene to preserve team harmony. While official statements have been scarce, the undercurrent of dissatisfaction is unmistakable. The Bears, traditionally a team with passionate fans and high expectations, now face the daunting task of navigating a fractured locker room at a critical point in their campaign. As the rumor mill churns, all eyes remain on Chicago to see if this crisis will ignite a turnaround or spiral into a season-defining meltdown. In the end, one thing is certain: the Bears' locker room drama is far from over, and the NFL world will be watching closely as this tense saga unfolds. Will DeAndre Swift continue to wear the Bears jersey, or is this the beginning of a new chapter elsewhere? Only time will tell, but for now, the possibility of a major shakeup remains very much alive. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.